CWG.com. Thanks so much for tuning in to our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. It's going to be a tranquil week, turning from average mildness to a little bit above average and warm with a rain chance at the very end of the week as well. My latest short-term forecast, my PM update at capitalweathergang.com, can be accessed directly at CWG.news/latest. Again, I'm Camden Walker here to take your questions, your comments, anything you might wonder about the forecast for the week ahead. We're going to talk about all the components in the short, medium, and longer term. Good evening, David. So let me know, chime on in on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter as we go through everything affecting your forecast for this upcoming week. Temperatures are going to kind of rise tomorrow and stabilize around average levels, mid upper 50s, maybe near 60 degrees. That's right where we should be for this time of year. Then we jump above average, mid 60s, maybe a little warmer for Thursday and Friday. We kind of have to see cloud levels where they end up and how much of a southerly warm fetch of wind we can get out of the south, off of maybe the Gulf of Mexico, that region kind of pulling in toward us. Warmer, milder, a little bit moister air at the end of this week. The clouds are going to generally hang back, but I do think there is some uncertainty kind of cloud levels Tuesday, Wednesday, but our highest confidence for sunny days, if you're like me wanting sun when the short, length of the days are getting shorter and shorter as we head toward the winter solstice, I want to cash in on every hour of sunlight. But I digress. The most highest confidence for sunshine is Monday and Thursday, it looks like this week. Tuesday, Wednesday should see at least partial sunshine. And Friday, depending on how this rain chance plays out, could be fairly cloudy, but it remains medium confidence at best. We need to kind of monitor the timing of this front that could move through pretty quickly. By as early as Thursday night, we could start seeing some clouds build, but this could kind of ease its way out of the region late Friday night into early Saturday. I think overall the weekend looks pretty okay. So as I was alluding to, precipitation, limited chances. Unfortunately, we really need some rain, which we'll get to in a minute. But right here at the end of this animation, which granted is pretty fast because it's like, covering 6.5 days for you really quickly, there's that cold front. Does it move through in a dry manner, cutting off that moisture source, that coastal low pressure system in the southeastern United States? It's possible we could see, unfortunately, a drying trend here with this cold front. There it is, moving through at the very end of the week. And as it stands now, the official forecast for how much rain we might see in the next 7 days focused on that main rain chance late Thursday night into early Saturday, maybe about a half inch of rain. And that's unfortunately not enough to keep up with our rainfall deficit. 1 to 2 inches needed in the last 2 weeks. We've fallen 1 to 2 inches behind just in this short to medium term rainfall deficit. And the drought, the longer term hydrological implications of rain deficit week and month after month. We now, in the red shading in the central Shenandoah Valley, central Blue Ridge, now have a extreme drought. That's a D3, which only 5% of the United States is in that red shading extreme drought. And there's only one more. The D4 scale here is an exceptional drought. So right now, extreme. Hopefully we can get enough rain in here in the next month to keep that D3 region from heading into D4 exceptional, and keep it, extreme, or hopefully, gosh darn it, we need to improve this drought situation in the Appalachians, in the Blue Ridge and broader Appalachian chain. We have a couple fire blazes that are kind of smoldering out there, and we need to, that could, maybe later this week affect our air quality around the region as well. It remains to be seen, but it's worth watching as we go forward. So let me pause for a second, give you the short-term link for my forecast. Here's the PM update. CWG.news/latest takes you directly there anytime you need us, though. We're at capitalweathergang.com. I am Camden Walker, live on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Every week we do our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat or Q&A. Let me know if you have any questions or comments about the forecast for the week ahead. Hi, Charlene. Thanks for tuning in from Facebook. Any progress on the rain deficits? It looks like we were talking about the same thing. Lake Marburg is nearly 12 feet below normal. I'm not surprised. Much of the region just in the last 1 to 2 weeks. Actually, yeah, in the last 2 weeks, we've fallen almost 2 inches behind in some of the worst, driest spots in the region. So we'll talk about the longer-term pattern in just a moment. Rick, I think freezing tonight is on the freezing temperatures in the 20s, 30s tonight. It's our last chilly night for a little while, as we stabilize into mild average temperatures for the remainder of the work week and even get a little bit warmer at the end of the work week as well. But again, a reminder, Rick, as you probably know, gardeners and farmers all know this, the growing season has officially ended. We've seen so much in the way of frost and hard freezes that there will be no longer issued any frost or freeze advisories from the National Weather Service in Sterling, Virginia for the greater DC area. Pattern change, good question, David. That's great. In the next little bit here, let's look ahead for precipitation. The good news is it's above average leaning for next work week, and it's a weak signal. Unfortunately, it's only a slight chance of being better than a coin flip where we see above average precipitation next work week. I'll take it. It's better than nothing. But even in the shorter term, we generally are in the same slight probability signal for above average precipitation, and color me skeptical. Our drought begets drought. Unfortunately, when longer term patterns establish themselves into a drought format, it is really hard to get out of that kind of negative feedback cycle. There's no surface moisture from which a storm system approaching our region can kind of pull some moisture out of the soil and kind of help the water cycle along by raining down more moisture into our region. So I will have, cautious optimism that we see better precipitation chances for next work week as well. Temperatures next work week have a better signal, a decent probability of being above average. So given that our averages are slowly slipping toward kind of the middle 50s region for high temperatures anyway, this could tell us that we might see some more 60s in the forecast next work week as well. And this includes overnight lows, so that's part of the picture. We could have kind of overnight lows and maybe merely average high temperatures, but it's still above average on a 24-hour basis going forward for next work week as well. Here's part of my briefing that I included in the PM update today is for the tropics. One area, kind of around Jamaica and southwest from there in the southwestern Caribbean Sea, has over the next 7 days a moderate chance of that kind of disturbed area of weather maybe turning into a closed circulation, a closed low pressure system that may develop into a tropical depression. And if it were to develop into a tropical storm with sustained winds of 39 miles per hour or higher, it would be Tropical Storm Vince, the V letter storm on our 2023 named storm list. Sunset indeed getting earlier and earlier. That's going to stop soon as we head toward the winter solstice. Around 4:47, I want to say, if memory serves, near the winter solstice is the earliest sunsets that we'll see. So, luckily, neither of us will have to chat much earlier as we get more and more of this evening darkness upon us, but shorter and shorter days is why I'm hoping we can indeed have a pretty bright sunny day, especially Monday and Thursday this week are the favored days for highest confidence of seeing bright sunshine this week. I'm on Facebook, X, and YouTube, Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com, and it's out, our winter outlook at CWG.news/winter outlook. I know everyone has been clamoring for a few weeks now. I've retired our heat tracker, and now on the blog, Jason Samanow, our head editor, has placed our snow tracker for the season. Now, as we kind of say here in our winter outlook, that the most snow in 5 years could occur, we are still maybe not going to stray too much from average. So we've been so below average that I want to manage expectations for fellow snow lovers, that even if we see the most snow in 5 years, it could be around, if not maybe a little bit higher than average. And of course, seasonal. Winter outlooks, any seasonal outlooks are lower confidence. We're talking about signals, teleconnections of larger scale patterns in the atmosphere over much of the, if not all of the northern hemisphere, and even El Nino in the southern hemisphere. So there's a lot of ingredients here, a lot of components intermixing with one another. So that's why it's low confidence on how everything plays out over a longer term 3-month period, with meteorological winter going through the end of February. All right, yeah, Chad is asking on Facebook, what is this word snow you speak of? Yep, no SPI, no snow potential index to announce just yet, David, but I love your optimism and closing delay charts. I'm not ready to cover closings just yet, but I know they're coming. You're right. Hey, MN, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. Indeed, the earliest, that's great, December 8th. Is the earliest sunsets and latest sunrise around January 8th. I think that does sound about right. Thank you for looking that up. And let's see, Ruth Elisa, you have a doctor's appointment on Monday. Good to see you from Facebook. And Rick's got all the houseplants in. Let's see, but Ruth Lisa, Monday looks pretty darn good tomorrow. You might need a jacket if your ride is in the morning, I think so. Hi, Agnes. Thanks so much for tuning in. So seasonal snow outlook, it's looking like kind of above average, around average to above average for snow in DC. And that's the most snow on a relative basis in the last 5 years. So even though our headline might look exciting to snow lovers, I'm trying to manage expectations there. All right, we've got Mike tuning in from Facebook. When will the drought end? I'm hoping this winter, if we can kind of see a good amount of snowfall, especially in the higher elevation mountains where the drought is focused right now, we could dent our drought in the next month or two. Fingers crossed. Ruth Lisa, you're most welcome. Charlene wants to go walking in a winter wonderland. I'm sorry, I can't promise that in the shorter term. And Tropic Scott, we're not quite done. I'm happy to review that with you. We do have one area, excuse me, there it is. One area that could develop moderate chance over the next 7 days into maybe Tropical Storm Vince if it becomes our V letter name storm of the tropical Atlantic. That it would take the name Vince if it gets to 39 miles per hour sustained or higher winds. So we're watching that area in the southwestern Caribbean Sea over the next 7 days. And I guess good news is if you're getting fatigued, tired of watching the tropics, season does end officially on November 30th. So with any luck, I'll not be showing these graphics. There is, though, every few Decembers a chance for a tropical disturbance to develop as well. All right, I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Here it is, your forecast at a glance. Generally mild this week with temperatures kind of first for 3 days of the work week stabilizing around average, kind of going up from today, which was a little bit chilly and below average. And then we warm into the 60s, and, maybe mid 60s, upper 60s by the end of the week as a rain chance approaches late, maybe Thursday night into Friday, could spill into early Saturday as well. But overall, the weekend is looking pretty darn good as it stands now. But this is my PM update here, the short-term forecast. Direct link at CWG.news/latest, but anytime you need us, 24/7, we're at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Chad, thanks so much for tuning in from Facebook. That is very kind. MN, thanks for tuning in from YouTube. You're most welcome, of course. All right, so, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm on there a total of 20 minutes. Looks like about another 7 minutes or so. So here's the temperature trend for this work week into Saturday. We start off, pretty mild and comfortable, I would say, with sunshine. Generally focused on Monday and Thursday this week, but I think Tuesday, Wednesday, even lower confidence of cloud levels. It's going to be pretty okay. And then warmer as the rain chance approaches Thursday night, Friday. And then back toward the 60s, maybe upper 50s on Saturday. So not too bad as it looks now. I think overall this is a pretty nice average to above average temperature regime for this part of November. And clouds, as I was alluding to, generally give us bright skies, but confidence wavers, medium zone for confidence on Tuesday, Wednesday. Highest sunshine confidence days are Monday and Thursday as it stands now. But I think even Friday, with our rain chance kind of wavering and not sending a clear signal of just how much rain it wants to give us, we could still see some peaks of sunshine on Friday as well. Total precipitation from this storm that waits until late Thursday night and maybe bleeding into a little bit of Saturday morning. Look how fast it moves through. It could be a fairly dry front, but the totals for kind of late Thursday night into early Saturday, timing subject to be determined and pinned down a little bit better as we get closer. We might see a half inch of rain, maybe a little bit more, but I want to, let's all remember we're in a dry pattern recently. Drought begets drought, unfortunately, and here's our 2-week rainfall deficit, 1 to 2 inches just to catch up to where we should have been in the last 2 weeks. Longer term, we're now in this red area in D3 extreme drought in the central Appalachians and Blue Ridge Mountains. So this is not going to be taken care of anytime soon, unfortunately. We are lucky, though, that there is no evapotranspiration to really be had this time of year. Our lowest rates of plant activity sucking moisture out of the topsoil, and the sun angle being very low. Evaporation is very negligible this time of year as well. So if we can slowly build even through our snowier season in winter, we can get some snow, some rain, precipitation. We have a chance to dent this before the spring comes along, but we do need to see a pattern shift And I'll go ahead and show you looking ahead. Let me first get to precipitation since we're talking about drought and rainfall deficit. We have a slight lean toward above average precipitation next work week, and it remains to be seen. I'll have some cautious optimism, and temperatures are giving a more clear, moderate probability signal for being above average next work week as well. All right, let me take a break, check on your comments and questions. I'm live right now on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Here's my latest short-term forecast right here, the PM update. You can go directly to CWG.news/latest. Visit us anytime, though, on CapitalWeatherGang.com. All right, so next Sunday, Paul I think there's a good chance of some decent amounts of sunshine. It looks pretty dry, decent probability of dry conditions on Sunday. I think pretty safe for outdoor plans. So enjoy your outdoor rally there. That's excellent. And Chad will take any precipitation we can get. I agree with you. And Lori is looking forward to snow. So let's jump to our winter outlook on that note, which is out. I am pleased to say, I know you've been clamoring for, I would say, almost a few weeks when we started seeing some of the winter outlooks get announced online and on the different TV stations. But snow lovers, cautious optimism here as well with our CWG.news/winter outlook. This is, notice, a relativistic headline, the most snow potentially in 5 years. That could still amount to merely average snowfall, which I know snow lovers will take it, right? But we could see there's a chance for above average snowfall as well. Maybe toward 20 inches around DC. But see all the details in our winter outlook here. And of course, I've retired the heat tracker now at this point in the year. We'll do our snow tracker, and if we ever see delays, I'll update you here on our weekly Sunday sunset chat. And what else? If we have a snow potential index for snowfall in the upcoming 5 to 7 days, I'll keep you posted on that as well. Trust me. All right. Well, Paul has just put the plow on your lawn tractor today. So that's great. That's great. Hopefully that'll be a good, what do we want to call that? A reverse jinx, like when you get out the umbrella and it's going to rain later. Hopefully that will work for snowfall as well, Paul. That's great. Chad, you have a great week as well. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, let me recap everything for you in the next, looks like I'm on the air another 2.5 minutes. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. Your forecast at a glance shows average mild comfort for the first 3 days of the work week, getting a little bit warmer and above average by the end of the work week when we have the potential for a rain chance as early as Thursday night, probably waiting for Friday, maybe Friday night, very early Saturday. My latest short-term forecast right here on CapitalWeatherGang.com is the PM update or direct link at CWG.news/latest. All right, the temperatures trending this week kind of stabilized around average high temperatures, mid to upper 50s, maybe near 60, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Warm up another notch, definitely above average, well into the 60s for Thursday and to Friday. And still even comfortable behind our Friday night cold front, still comfortable there on Saturday as well, maybe around or above 60 in many locations. Clouds want to give us throw some shade our way, Tuesday and Wednesday potentially, but overall a pretty bright week with the highest confidence sunshine days being Monday and Thursday. I think even Friday could have some peaks of sunshine because precipitation, it doesn't look too long lasting and too heavy, which is not great. We need more rain in the region, but that front moves through pretty darn quickly, potentially cutting off that moisture source of that coastal low pressure system you see off the southeastern United States as that approaches. It might get all pushed out to sea, and the front could be a little bit moisture starved as we get toward the end of the week. It remains to be seen, but currently the National Weather Service, I can go with maybe about a half inch. 0.6 inches could be a little bit too optimistic for this rain chance, centered on Friday-ish time frame. So we'll see. I mean, it would be great news with the last 2 weeks. We're 1 to 2 inches of rainfall behind just for the last 2 weeks, and of course, drought in the region continues to get a little bit worse. Now in that red zone, that's D3. It's known as not exceptional drought, it's extreme drought. Sorry, I get them both mixed up. D4 is exceptional drought, and D3 is right below that, extreme. So we need a lot of rain, not in one storm or anything, but it's going to take a while to dent this drought over this winter. So the good news is we do see a little bit more in the way of moisture signals, snowfall signals for this upcoming winter. Fingers are crossed. All right, CWG.news/latest is my latest short-term forecast PM update on CapitalWeatherGang.com blog. Facebook, X, and YouTube. I'm live every Sunday at our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat. I'm Camden Walker. Looks like Paul says snow talisman. That's great. I like that you're putting the plow on your tractor as a snow talisman. David's going to order a snow brush to kind of increase our snow superstition chances for this upcoming winter for your balcony. I love that. David, you're most welcome. Thanks so much. It does go very fast, these 20 minutes, and I'm out of time. This really went by fast this week. So I will see you next Sunday evening. Yes, for the next foreseeable future, many weeks will be before 5 p.m. But thanks as always for tuning in. I'm Cameron Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com signing off. Enjoy the tranquil, fairly mild average, flipping to above average temperatures this upcoming week. And fingers crossed we get some decent rain chance, rain amounts with the rain chance on Friday this week. And Charlene, see you next Sunday as well. Thanks everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.